Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you for joining us here at 816 Podcasting presents Marked Out Wrestling. This is episode 2. Today we will be going over all the big news from last week. We've also prepared a little quick fire round for you guys, and then we're going to cap this off with our NXT TAKEOVER and our Summerslam predictions.
So this is actually take 2.
Yeah.
Episode 2 is supposed to be out already.
Right.
We had big trouble when we were editing the audio.
Yeah.
And for some reason, one of the mics got distorted, and we don't know what happened.
We're still new to this, guys. We're still working through all of it.
So this is coming out on Tuesday. Raw's actually going on right now. We haven't watched it. We're not going to watch it.
Yeah.
And we're just going to cover last week going in. But we did get news this morning about Ric Flair.
We did get, and he was admitted to the hospital on Saturday.
Yeah, they said for various reasons.
Yeah.
Apparently he's got a lot of crap going on.
I know specifically they talked about his heart.
Right, but then his manager tweeted just like an hour ago that it actually wasn't his heart for the surgery.
Okay.
Because he did get medically induced in a coma, and then they went into surgery, and they said that the surgery had nothing to do with the heart, apparently.
Okay. Well, he is out of surgery. He's resting. So we...
Hopefully. I think this is it already looked like Charlotte was going to be kept off of SummerSlam. No,
I think this definitely solidifies that she probably
there's no
will be
way.
at SummerSlam, which is okay.
Seems to be with her family.
I would rather her be doing... I wouldn't rather her be doing this, obviously, but I'd rather her stay off the card than just get thrown in a random match. Right. So, thoughts and wishes are with Flair and his family. You want to get into this?
All right.
You want to explain to people why we are Mark Out Wrestling now instead of...
Right, we were the People's Podcast, and we thought we were so clever coming up with that, and we realized there's a bunch of podcasts out there named the People's Podcast, so we didn't know if that'd be a problem, uploading to Stitcher and stuff. So we wanted something unique. It was actually you that came up with Mark Out Wrestling. It's an awesome name. It's unique, which is what we wanted, and we know wrestling fans will appreciate it.
Absolutely. So
let's get into the big news of the week.
Into it.
We had Shinsuke Nakamura did have backstage heat over the fall with John Cena. Cena landing on his net, especially with Vince McMahon.
Which makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
We talked about this a little bit in the first episode. Shinsuke apologized to Cena.
In the ring.
Right. Cena
he was freaking out.
Don't be sorry.
Yeah, don't be sorry.
There's no reason for Vince to be mad about this. Accidents happen.
Well, the actual... news was that he wasn't mad at Shinsuke so much as he was just mad that Cena almost got hurt and almost missed SummerSlam. So he was irate over that, but I guess it wasn't directly to...
So that's just being mad just for the sake of being mad then.
Yeah,
right?
He was just mad that it happened, not specifically mad at
How can you
Nakamura.
be mad about an injury maybe
on
happening?
A freak accident?
Well, in wrestling though, it doesn't going into these matches that there's a chance.
You want some controversy? I think it was John Cena's fault. It looks like he should have tucked and rolled more on his head. He just kind of just falls straight down. It didn't look like Nakamura was holding him there.
I don't even necessarily know if it was really anybody's fault.
No, yeah.
Stuff like this happens all the time. And nobody was hurt, so I don't see the big deal.
What'd you think about Rollins being the one to reject the Shield? That was huge, right?
It was.
That was a moment. Did you see that Toronto crowd?
Yeah.
They were going crazy.
It's good, though, isn't it? Because it's
great writing, it builds anticipation for the moment when they actually do finally, if they do.
Right.
Which this is my prediction. I think they reunite just in time for the Superstar Shakeup to take one of them away.
Really?
Yeah, I think because you were talking about a potential draft after SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I think that'd be the perfect time. Just give it to us and then take it away. Because to me, it makes no sense to do it without Roman. I don't get a Shield reunion in 2 out of 3.
Well, here's what I could see happening.
It's just like the ultimate swerve. You finally get what you've always wanted. Nah.
See, I think what's going to happen is that they're finally going to get together. We're finally going to get them. And then, bam, out of nowhere, Dean turns on Seth. And we get the Dean Ambrose heel turn that I think a lot of people have been wanting.
To me, I don't see a Dean Ambrose turn heel.
Why?
He's just... Oh, man. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. But a Shield reunion does, clear up, because there's such a logjam with Lesnar being champion. It does clear up 2 main event guys.
What do they do, though? What would a Shield reunion accomplish? What do they do? Who do they have to face?
Well, we both know that and the fans might not know this, Sheamus is going to be leaving soon. So Cesaro and Sheamus are going to drop the titles.
Yes.
Who do they drop them to?
If
the Shield?
That's the only team I can think of right now.
Because to me, those are the only two teams.
Right.
I don't think they're not going to drop them to Gallows and Anderson, another heel team.
Right. And I could have seen them dropping it to the Revival, but
that would have been
unfortunately,
so good. I would have been so down for that.
The injury, so that's going to keep them out of the title picture for a while. Honestly, that injury might keep them out of the title picture for a really long time.
Yeah,
because Vince, you know how Vince is. If he doesn't feel like he can trust you, if he thinks you're injury prone, you're going to fall fast on the card.
They're definitely, when they come back, they're going to have to work hard.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's going to be a long process.
So, I mean, I could see I guess I could see them dropping the titles to Shield 2.0. I don't even necessarily know if I want to call them the Shield without Roman Reigns.
I know.
So they're just going to drop
I just want to hear that music again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you hear it all the time. That's Roman's music, basically.
Yeah, I know. But
you just want to hear that Sierra Hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be okay with that, but I honestly do think it'll lead to a Dean Ambrose heel turn.
That would blow me away.
Really? Would it? I don't think that'd be that surprising. I think a lot of fans want that.
I would like to see some kind of change with Dean Ambrose. I just don't know. Because
right now his lunatic fringe, he's not a lunatic. I mean, he's
pretty chill for a lunatic.
He's wacky Dean, not a lunatic.
Yeah, he could definitely go crazy.
He definitely needs something to revamp him.
So we got the news that Bayley was out at SummerSlam, and then she comes out to the Toronto crowd, which is known for going off script and being crazy. But they really went crazy when they booed Bayley.
Booed the hell out of her.
They booed the hell out of her. I felt so bad for her.
I'm not surprised, man.
You're crazy.
I really think that a lot of fans are getting tired of the white meat baby faces. And she is as white meat baby face as it comes. And she was a huge star in NXT, but I think when you're like in NXT, when you're with a more intimate crowd, a smaller crowd, more diehard fans, that can get over.
The next fans are definitely like diehard fans.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But, the main roster fans are more casual. So I think they could see that.
More kids in that group, I think.
Yeah, which, I mean, you would think might help get her over with that her whole gimmick, but I don't think... I mean, like, you and I, like, do you really like that gimmick for a person?
I love Bayley, man. And
you love Bayley, but do you love her gimmick?
Eh.
Exactly. Like, Bayley as a wrestler
I love Hug
great.
Life. Listen, I actually think, as crazy as it sounds, I think this could be good for Bayley, her getting booed. Because, like, obviously, I don't think she handled it well. Like, well, I'm addressing the people who aren't booing me.
Right.
But, like, I think this could be good for her in the sense that, like, if people boo her, it's going to make the people that do... like cheer for her, like care about her more and want to protect her, and not like want to see her get booed. And it's gonna make the people who are booing, hate her more too, when more people care about her. So I think this could be good for her, like, because any attention is good attention.
Right. Any reaction is a good reaction.
Exactly.
If you're coming out there and they're not doing anything, if it's dead silent, that's not good. So at least she's getting.
If you get like a Roman Reigns John Cena reaction, have you heard the John Cena Bayley comparisons?
Yeah,
like merchandise sales. She's supposed to be
the female John Cena.
She's supposed to be the female John Cena. That's a lot to live up to. That's crazy.
She'll never be as over.
Speaking of merchandise sales, we talked about last week about Enzo getting cut. Yeah. I think he doesn't get cut, and I think it's because of his merchandising.
So, an interesting thing I heard. You know who Brian Alvarez is?
No.
Okay, he Dave Meltzer.
I do. Yeah.
He works with Dave Meltzer a lot. He said that he could actually see this turning into an Enzo heel turn, and him and Big Cass reuniting. And I've thought about this. Do you think it's because maybe Vince or creative views this breakup already as a huge failure?
I didn't like the breakup in the first place. Like the whole point of breaking them up was the backstage heat on Enzo and to push Cass, but who cares about Big Cass and Big Show?
Nobody.
Like, I get that you're passing the torch one big guy to another. Like, this is what this is supposed to be, is a passing of the torch. But like, I'm already done with this idea, and we just got announced for a Shark Tank.
Yeah, the Shark Cage match.
Yeah, that's horrible. I actually thought it was going to be a 2-on-1 handicap match because Cass has been beating up on both of them.
Right.
No problem.
Yeah.
But now you're going to suspend Enzo, so now we all know the finish.
This gimmick is so bad.
Or do we? Because
he's going to drop something meant for the Big Show. Cass going to pick it up, hit Big Show. Brass knuckles.
It's got to be brass knuckles with Enzo.
Yeah.
It fits his character.
Yeah, he's got the tattoo of the brass knuckles.
But you see Enzo turning heel and them getting back together? Already?
I don't know. I honestly don't. I still, personally, I disagree with you. I still think he's going to be future endeavored before too long. I think he'll be gone.
I'm just saying, like, a third of these crowds are like certified G.
Right. Well, but I think the problem is with Enzo is, like, the boys don't like Enzo. The locker room doesn't like Enzo because apparently the Enzo you see on TV is Enzo Amore 24/7, and I can see how that can wear on you real quick.
Yeah, I get it too.
So
you see it in like his like drive along or ride along and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
so.
I definitely think I still think that he's going to be gone before too long.
Let's see what other big news. No Demon King at SummerSlam. So this is what I think. I think they're not going to have the Demon King at SummerSlam, and I think it's a mistake.
I still think they will.
Well, to me, like Bray Wyatt's been playing mind games, and Finn Balor's one step ahead, and it's crazy because like. That's supposed to be Bray's special. That's like the only thing he has going for him. So does he even need the Demon King? Like this last week, Bray Wyatt appears in the ring. Balor's on the rope, jumps over, kicks him in the head, missile drop kicks him into the crowd. Like he's doing fine without it.
Yeah, but
and if they are going to introduce him, when?
The Demon King?
Yeah, like they're not even talking about it. Like it doesn't exist.
I could see him just showing up at the pay-per-view as what was the last pay-per-view Finn Balor has been on?
He was at the one after WrestleMania. He was on like the Miz Talk, but he hasn't wrestled.
Right, he hasn't wrestled on pay-per-view
since SummerSlam last year.
Yeah, since this year, or he hasn't wrestled at all on pay-per-view this year.
Right? Oh, that's not true. He was in the Fatal 5-Way with Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, Bray Wyatt, and Seth Rollins to determine the number one contender for.
Okay, and he wasn't the Demon King then?
No, he was Finn Balor.
I don't know.
So he's wrestled one pay-per-view since SummerSlam last year.
I think because I was just so accustomed to like every pay-per-view he would be the Demon King because that's what he was in NXT, right?
Yeah, he's Finn Balor,
yeah,
on TV.
I still think that they do it, if no other reason for the spectacle that it is.
It should be done. There's no better show than SummerSlam to do it. Second biggest show of the year.
Yeah.
According to WWE, according to fans, it's third, right?
Right.
Behind Rumble.
Maybe fourth.
But it's always advertised as second.
Yeah.
Maybe fourth?
Yeah. I think fans like Money in the Bank.
Money Bank's so good.
I think I've actually said this a little off topic before. I think, the big four pay-per-views, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Mania, Royal Rumble, if they're not going to get rid of Money in the Bank, the pay-per-view as a whole, which I think they should, I think that match should go back to WrestleMania, get rid of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But if they're not going to do that, then I think that they should drop Survivor Series and make Money in the Bank one of the big four pay-per-views. But that's a little off topic.
That's a good idea. Nobody cares about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
No. I think the only person that's really benefited from so far is Baron Corbin.
It's just there to like give other people something to do.
Yeah, we've had 3?
Yeah.
Cesaro, Big Show, and Baron Corbin have been the winners. And nothing came from Cesaro's, and
Corbin was the only one who like pretended like it meant something. Oh, we've had Mojo Rawley. But,
okay.
Yeah, the one that just happened. But
but that wasn't to give Mojo Raw. That was for
that was Rob Gronkowski. Yeah, that was awesome too. By the way.
But to get back on topic, I do think we still see the Demon King at SummerSlam because I think that it would be a huge missed opportunity for WWE if they didn't have him come out as the Demon King, and I'm not sure that that's an opportunity that they would miss.
So we talked about Bayley, but we didn't talk about. Now we know we have Sasha versus Jax, right? Mm-hmm. They both won their triple threats,
right?
Who do you got?
Okay.
So we know this has been spoiled for us, right? We haven't watched Raw, but we know that Sasha wins,
right?
Right. So let's talk about Sasha Alexa.
Well, I mean,
it's supposed to be tonight on Raw that Sasha wins. That's what was reported by PW Insider.
Right.
Right.
So we're operating under the assumption right now
that Sasha,
we're filming before Raw. We're operating under the assumption that Sasha is gonna win the match.
Yeah, and if this comes out and Jax won,
Right.
that'd be awesome. It would be great. Let's go with that assumption. Let's talk about. Man, I was kind of hoping it'd be a triple threat.
Yeah, I thought a triple threat made the most sense because now what does Nia Jax do for SummerSlam? Which, don't get me wrong, me and you have very different opinions on Nia Jax. I think she's hot garbage, and
I think she should be a face.
Yeah.
Everyone says like it's all the backstage. They say it's her bubbly personality. Like she's such a fun, nice person who would never hurt a fly in real life. So
Yeah, I mean,
she can't pull off the heel. She can't pretend to be mean. Like WWE just puts her in that role because she's so big.
If you see her on social media, she is clearly a sweetheart.
And she's trying to play like she's an asshole.
Nothing about her screams heel. You are right. Other than that, she's a bigger person, a bigger girl.
So I think she needs a face change. You think that's not going to help at all?
I think she needs to go back down to NXT. I just think she is still too green in the ring to be on the main roster.
She's getting better though. She's improving.
Yeah, but
that's not the place to improve. Yeah, you should already be
exactly.
You should already be well-rounded. By that time.
She came up way too early.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, so since we're operating under the assumption that it's Sasha, is that the right call? I know you want it to be Nia, but is Sasha the right call?
I would have liked to have seen Nia get the nod, but Sasha's absolutely the right call, right?
I think so.
You can't leave Sasha off of SummerSlam.
No, absolutely not. And she's the only face.
If you watch the ads for SummerSlam, she's in the ads for it.
Right, like front and center.
Right. So the question, like the fact that she was going to be left off if Bayley didn't get hurt, do you buy that Bayley's hurt?
I think Bayley is legit hurt.
Yeah, but then you saw her like at the Mae Young Classic, and her arms not in the sling anymore. She's got her hands up. It's like, what? What is this?
Well, the Mae Young Classic was filmed before.
It was filmed Friday, wasn't it? And she announced on Monday.
What?
It was filmed this Friday?
Well, I know that the Mae Young
Classic... So 3 days ago?
No, it's been filmed for a while now.
No, they filmed it this Friday. And Bayley looked good.
I don't think so.
I was shocked. I hope I'm wrong. I was like, this is kind of sketchy because we just saw her in a sling.
Yeah, this is a shoot, guys. We legit don't know when the Mae Young Classic was filmed. Thanks for listening.
Speaking of the Mae Young Classic, the 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen.
Yeah, 4 horsewomen of WWE versus 4 horsewomen of UFC.
We got that news, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound ridiculous?
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Okay, first of all,
I will say this. I do know Ronda has been training to be a wrestler, though.
Yeah. Well, right now she's focusing on her marriage, but she's also been staying out of media just because she hates media. She hates publicity.
Right. Well, I did read that at the Mae Young Classic, when she was there, she approached WWE about wrestling, and they told her, we'd love to have you. If you want to be a wrestler, go train with the Brian Kendrick. So she's supposed to be training under Brian Kendrick to make a wrestling debut.
I hope that's true, man. I really do. But let me say this. This is not 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen. The 4 horsewomen of WWE are legit. Like, they're the best of the best at what they do, right? What UFC's offering is Ronda Rousey plus ads. Well, like Shayna Baszler and stuff. These are not... Like, if you had a legit 4 horsewomen of UFC, it would include Gina Carano, Cyborg, and, I don't know, like Misha Tate.
But this is a group that Ronda Rousey associates herself with that call themselves the 4 horsewomen.
Right. She would never team with Misha Tate. They were like...
Right, because they're like... these 4 are legit women outside of the company.
That's the problem with the UFC. People actually hate each other. Whereas the UFC, it's just a work.
Right.
Right.
Or WWE, it's just a work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I
actually kind of hope we get something like that. That'd be fun.
You think it'd be... If they do that, you think it'd be at Survivor Series?
Do you think it? Well, that would make sense. Right? That would make so much sense. Yeah, it's tailor made for something like Survivor Series. Do you think this is completely off topic? Do you think people like Natalya and Emma get a bad rep? Like when people mention the 4 horsewomen, do you think it's unfair that they're not somehow mentioned in this as like a core part of this women's revolution?
Not so much Emma. But definitely, I think Natalya does not get nearly enough credit for helping
her role in it.
Yeah, for making women's wrestling again. You know what I mean? And not just
instead of models with big boobs.
Exactly.
Looking good on TV.
Yeah, which don't get me wrong.
There's nothing wrong with models with big boobs,
but
looking good on TV.
But I don't think she gets nearly enough credit for helping bring. I think she, her, Beth Phoenix, those women really like help bring women's wrestling back, and I think she doesn't get nearly enough credit.
So let's go to the main events of this week. We had for Raw, we had the last man standing match.
Right.
Made no sense.
What a weird finish that was, wasn't it?
Bro. I'm glad we agree on this because it seemed like I hate that they let Braun win, but they did it in a way that completely protected Roman. Like in a way that like why can't Braun, out of all people, Braun can't beat Roman? Like,
right. Well,
it had to be no.
What do you mean he did?
It was the funniest finish. Roman spears him, and then like he gets to like an 8 count, and all of a sudden Samoa Joe pops out, and the ref stops counting.
Why would the ref stop counting there?
Why would you stop counting?
It made no sense whatsoever.
And then he passes out to the coquina clutch, and then the ref counts again to like 8, and then Braun Strowman magically gets up all at the same time.
Stands up like nothing fucking happened, man.
He was completely knocked out. Just gets up like, whoa.
Yeah, it just went from like. It went from like he was selling. It was like to it's gonna be a complete no sell, and it just it was so weird.
It's gonna be a draw to
Braun's up. It was awkward looking at hell. It was almost like.
And why is it that like Samoa Joe came out and attacks Roman Reigns, but he has no beef with Braun Strowman? Like Braun Strowman gets up and he's just like, "You're cool, bro.
Yeah,
I got nothing wrong with you."
I don't know, man.
They're all in a fatal 4-way match.
You would think he would want to eliminate as many opponents as possible going into...
That ending made no sense whatsoever. If Samoa Joe should have got involved, it should have made it a draw.
So awkward.
Roman should have stayed down. It should have been a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that Brock is the champion, because that's the type of match where you want to see everybody involved. And when...
I don't get why he didn't come out. He was there last week. Yeah, he came in... and he did the Miz talk.
That's what I mean. Like it just
Miz TV.
Yeah.
He. By the way, I hated that too.
Wait, was Miz TV last week?
Yeah, and it was. He did the opening segment, and I hate that. Like when that Lesnar beat up on the Miz too. Like when they made Miz look like a jobber. He didn't need that. Like when Brock hit his entourage, like double clothesline. Bounce, bruh. You're smart.
I don't know why I thought that Brock was 2 weeks ago.
No, it was this last week.
Because I thought he attacked them, and that's why somebody was supposed to face Curtis Axel, but he couldn't wrestle because he got hurt. Am I really?
Right, and that was last week too.
Was that really?
Yeah.
God damn, man.
So
when
Jason Jordan faced the jobber, right?
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. When you watch so much wrestling, it all just bleeds together after a while.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk about the main event of SmackDown.
Okay.
So I didn't think anything weird was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I watched SmackDown. I was like, okay, whatever. And then I look on my phone and I start reading like Bleacher Report and stuff, and everyone's like super upset that Jinder Mahal got pinned clean. And I was like, why?
Because he's the champion.
So he's a heel champion. Heel champions lose clean.
And that's ridiculous, man. I hate that. I personally don't think your champion should ever lose clean on free TV.
I get that, like, he's a jobber, or he was a jobber, like, a few months ago, so people are still, like, they put him there, like, he hasn't solidified himself as, like, an elite level guy yet. So, like, that's too fresh, and so I could get why you wouldn't want to remind people of that. But if you think of guys like, who was our last, like, heel champion, like Kevin Owens?
Yeah.
Like, all he did was lose clean when he didn't have Chris Jericho, and even when, like, AJ Styles, he's probably the best wrestler in the world. He had to cheat to beat Dean Ambrose for the championship, kick him in the nuts. Like, people, you lose clean when you're a heel. You win clean if you're a face. That's how it goes. I don't see the big ruckus with this. Besides, other than he was very recently a jobber, and you wouldn't want to remind people of that.
I don't know, man. I don't think your champion should lose clean in a non-title match.
What I don't like is I remember that match, like watching that match and being like, that was all Randy Orton. Like, there was zero Jinder Mahal offense. Like, the Mahal offense was during the commercial break. I remember that. And I remember being like, what did Mahal do?
Do you think that's another reason why people were so pissed? Is it's like, you have like 4 pay-per-view matches, 3 pay-per-view matches, however many it was in a row with Randy Orton. Randy Orton can't get the job done. And then he beats him on SmackDown in a non-title match. Do you think that had anything to do with why fans might have been a little upset?
I was upset because I had to sit through that again.
Another fucking match.
I know. Guys. I was so not into that match. Like when they announced the main event, I was like, oh, I'd rather you've done anything else. Literally I'd rather watch Naomi. Else.
Yeah. Well, did you see what they announced for the main event tomorrow for SmackDown? John Cena versus Jinder Mahal. Wow. So is he going to lose clean 2 weeks in a row? Going into SummerSlam, is he going to lose clean 2 weeks in a row?
They should just have Baron Corbin come out and interrupt or something.
And just... Yeah. I mean, I could see them doing that, but I could definitely see them.
But they should have had Rusev come in and interrupt last week. Yeah,
because
this week.
Where did this match come from? Well, we'll talk about it later. The Rusev Randy Orton match is just kind of out of left field.
I think it's just something to do. Mix a couple storylines together, kind of thing.
Yeah, for both of them, but
it's like doing the tag match without the tag match. Makes two different storylines.
Exactly.
Yeah. Last week we predicted Cena Corbin.
Right.
Last Tuesday it was confirmed by PW Insider, and then SmackDown GM Daniel Bryan confirmed it. Are you excited at all for this match?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean...
Because we know what happens, right? Corbin just wins.
Should win.
Corbin wins, Cena goes off into the sunset, films his movie, doesn't get hurt by the loss.
I'm not even sure when that movie's supposed to start filming.
It's supposed to be right after SummerSlam, I thought.
Okay. Well, because I've heard a lot of predictions that after SummerSlam... Cena's moving exclusively to Raw. Because he's
a free agent now, right? That's what he said in his little comeback.
He's on a lot of Raw house shows. He's scheduled for a lot of Raw house shows.
Well, maybe.
So.
Okay, well, we need to look this up and have this for the next episode.
Yeah.
I don't know when exactly he's filming it.
The Bumblebee movie. I don't even know if it's written yet.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a big role. It's not supposed to be like a little
it's not
cameo or anything.
The role, but he has a major role.
They said a major role in it, so that's pretty cool. That's good for him.
Yeah. I know we want to talk about this. Some potential news breaking today that Adam Cole has officially signed with WWE.
I hope so.
Are you excited?
I'm excited. Did you see the Instagram post he did where he was in the store and he had a Young Bucks t-shirt?
Yeah.
And he throws it aside picks up a Revival
t-shirt. That
was
so good.
That was so awesome.
It was amazing.
I love that.
A lot of that has to do... Do you watch Being the Elite?
No.
Okay, so it's the Young Bucks YouTube channel, and Cody Rhodes is on it.
Of course.
Kenny Omega, just a lot of the Bullet Club members. Well, they have a thing every episode where Cody will come into the scene and they'll be like, "How you doing, Cody?" And he just turns at the camera and goes, "Fuck the Revival." And so that's been a running gag forever. So if you've seen the Revival, they'll have a shirt that says "Forever the Revival." That's what they're saying. No, not fuck the Revival, forever the Revival. So that's where him throwing away the Young Bucks shirt and picking up the Revival shirt. That's what that was a nod to.
That's awesome.
But I read, and I don't know if I like this though, is that they're wanting to build NXT around Adam Cole.
Oh, I hope that's true.
I don't, man, because I don't want him in NXT that long.
Let me tell you why I hope that's true. Because that's what they did with Bobby Roode. And what it did was it allowed them to ship off the other guys who are ready, like Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor. It let them send those guys off. And Bobby Roode was name value, and he held the place down while new talent could come up, and establish itself. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think if Adam Cole runs NXT, he's going to be champion before long. And I think it's a sign that they're going to send Roode to the main roster.
I just don't want them to I'm fine with them it's just I guess the way I interpret it is he's gonna be there for the long haul. I don't know if that's
at least
what I
a year if that happens.
Yeah, a year would be fine. I don't
he's
want
a young
him,
guy. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he's 29.
Yeah,
he still has plenty of time.
Was Bobby Roode mid-30s?
Yeah, Bobby Roode's up there.
He's up there with AJ Styles and
right.
Shinsuke. So his time is definitely he's ready for the main roster.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially with that entrance.
Man, can you imagine that entrance at WrestleMania?
I love it. If we did a list of our top 5 favorite entrance, that'd probably be on there for me. Top 5. I think it'd
be on one of mine too.
I love that song. Every time it comes on, I just I have a heyday with it.
Yeah, it's so good. So I don't know. I think I just don't want him down there longer than a year.
I just hope he really did sign with WWE and we can get that moving.
Do you think we see him at TakeOver?
I think that's what they want to do because they're definitely trying to keep it hush hush.
How would they introduce him? How do you think they'd introduce him?
Main event.
You think he'd just come out and you think after
Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah, after the match, whoever wins, his music hits and he just walks on stage and like that's it? Like, do you think that's how they introduce him?
I have no idea.
Because I can't see him actually interfering in the match, right?
No, he has no reason to.
No, I don't think so. I think that's that's how you're gonna do it.
I think just let Rude lose clean or something.
Have Rude lose to. We'll talk about that later.
To Drew McIntyre.
We'll get our predictions later.
I actually predict.
We're here in a little
bit.
bit.
Before this Adam Cole business, I actually predicted Rude to win. But you saying that he was going to take over NXT.
Oh, it's changed your mind?
It changes everything.
Yeah?
Because that's what it means. It means Rude's ready to come up. And that I'm so excited for that because he's more ready.
He's been...
Yeah, he was ready. He didn't have to go to NXT.
No,
he actually wanted to. Apparently, that's what he told Triple H.
He wanted to go to NXT.
Is that like it was like the hottest brand or whatever?
Yeah, apparently a lot of people that signed want to go to NXT, and I think Finn Balor has a lot to do with it because what I heard when Finn got called up, he still didn't even want to be called up.
Finn was a megastar. When
he wanted to stay.
When he got
in NXT.
signed by WWE, and people thought it was like a demotion for him to go to NXT, but what he did was he made it into like a new, like it became the hottest thing in pro wrestling.
Right,
for sure,
absolutely. So
and then guys like Shinsuke came in and followed footsteps, and Finn and Shinsuke both say like they're so happy they went that route.
Right, I think
because it teaches them not just like they love that training center down there.
Right, that's what I was gonna say.
And they love
the performance center.
Yeah,
where
they love learning the WWE.
Exactly. Where hard camera is, where they need to look, everything like that.
The
Stuff
WWE
you don't
way of
get
doing things, yeah.
while you're in other promotions, really. We'll see. I hope we see him at TakeOver, though. Oh, you want to talk about Del Rio being stripped of the
that's out of
Global
nowhere.
Force Wrestling Championship?
Did you see that coming? That's out of nowhere.
I don't necessarily know if I saw it coming, but he's still suspended, and he was found innocent of like any of the charges.
Yeah,
that were
that's
brought
what's
against him.
crazy because this is about what happened at the Orlando airport where even Paige came out and said like it was all me. I assaulted him. I threw a drink in his face.
Yeah.
He did nothing wrong. The assault was actually on me.
Right.
The domestic violence was on me. So why is Del Rio getting punished for this?
So here's the thing. Del Rio actually released a statement on this, saying that him and Global Force collectively decided that it was in the best interest of the company for him to relinquish the title because even though he wasn't found guilty, it's still a bad look for the company.
So maybe this is just a way of getting the belt back while he's suspended and having the belt in action.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of.
They're going to keep him suspended while this is ongoing, for sure.
I think so.
Yeah, because that makes more sense, because this came out of left field for me. I was like, what? He didn't even do anything wrong, is what, the police reports things were saying.
Right.
So, yeah, that was weird.
I guess I'm really not that surprised about it. He is... All right, I want to give you my opinion of him real quick. I think Del Rio is like one of the biggest pieces of shit in wrestling.
Should we call him Del Rio or should we switch to El Patron?
Okay, whatever. El Patron. We'll just call him Alberto. I think that guy is... I think he's just trash. I think he's ruined Paige's career. I think the worst thing that happened to Paige
I don't think we see her wrestle again in WWE.
I don't think we do either. She's still under contract.
Yeah. But she's done.
I think if she is with Del Rio, I don't think she comes back to WWE. I know she keeps saying that she will. I don't know if management wants her back because I don't think they want all the flack that comes with her and Del Rio's relationship. But that's off topic. That's personal opinion.
She seems to take everything personal. Everything that they did towards Del Rio.
Right.
Yeah, she seems to take it personal.
And it's so weird because how old is she? She's like 24, 25,
she's
right?
She's young.
And he's like 40.
She's having neck and back issues and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, just because she's been wrestling for so long already.
Yeah. Have you noticed like...
She's like Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch started super early too.
You ever notice like when he's wrestling on TV for Global Force, like she's out there, she'll be in like a wrestling mask or something though so that you can't see her face so that she can't get fined or fired by WWE?
No.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
So you want to go to predictions?
Yeah, let's go.
I think that's the big news for the week.
Yeah, let's go into our predictions.
All right,
let's start with TakeOver.
We can start with TakeOver. Let's you got the card ready?
I do. I got the card.
Well, before we get into that, let me ask you a question. Two things. What's the match you're most interested in at TakeOver?
Okay.
And which one are you least interested in?
I think the match I'm most interested in, and I think we agree on this, is Hideo Itami versus Aleister Black.
Has to be.
That's
gonna be match of the night.
Yeah, I'm really. They're both so good.
By the way, I think if anyone gets called up, it's Hideo Itami.
Really?
Yeah.
Of anybody that's on,
I think he's ready.
in NXT right now.
He's been there for as long as Finn Balor. They came in at the same time.
Yeah.
And he's just been plagued by injuries, but he's ready. He's
Kevin
ready
Owens too, right?
Yeah.
They all came in around the same time, didn't they?
Kevin Steen
Yeah.
became Kevin Owens. Do you think, speaking of that, I'm sorry to
No.
interrupt you, but do you think Adam Cole keeps his name?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't think there's any way that they can give him a different name.
Okay.
I think he's just established himself too well as Adam Cole with ROH and
Yeah, I mean, AJ Styles kept his name, Shinsuke kept his name.
Yeah.
But then there's guys like Kevin Steen who had to switch over.
which is fine.
Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, all they changed was his last name, which is just a tribute to his son and to Owen Hart.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be that's the match I'm most looking forward to. I think the match I'm looking forward to the least, I know this sounds weird, it's probably Ember Moon versus Asuka.
I agree. Just because I think we know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Or, well, I don't know. Because they're... Okay, let's go ahead and do prediction.
All right.
I think Asuka wins.
Okay.
And if she doesn't, that's wrong.
Yeah. I don't think Asuka should ever lose the title. I think when she gets called up to the main roster, she should get called up as champion.
And still undefeated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Completely undefeated. I don't want her to lose a non-title match or anything. I want her to go main roster undefeated.
Yeah.
And just relinquish it or whatever.
Yeah. And just as soon as she gets to the main
roster.
But
they're making Ember Moon out to be
the next
to be the one who wins.
Yeah.
To be the one that defeats Asuka, which is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to promote the challenger to win.
Right.
Or to at least face a chance, especially with a strong champion like Asuka. But here's what gives me pause and makes me think that Ember might win, is that if Asuka wins the belt, who else is there to challenge her? Nobody.
If
there's no one.
If Ember Moon wins the title?
No, if Asuka retains, who can challenge Asuka?
I think we'd
who
probably
can
just
take that belt off of her? Nobody, right?
Whoever the winner is of the Mae Young Classic will probably be the next challenger.
So we have to wait for that tournament to be over.
Yeah.
That's going to be, what, a month?
I think it's over.
And it's supposed to... Yeah,
right.
but we
it's
have
over,
to wait...
But I haven't looked at the spoilers to see who won.
Right. We have to wait for it to be aired and...
Yeah.
You know, they'll do an episode every week or something.
I'll be honest with you. I did look at the spoilers, and once I saw that Candice LeRae, who is Johnny Gargano's wife, fantastic. She's probably my favorite women's wrestler on the indies right now. She was in their tournament. Once I saw she lost, I did not care about the tournament anymore.
Spoiler alert.
yeah. Spoiler alert,
but
exactly.
Back to my point, like, if Ember Moon wins and beats Asuka, because she's the only one, in my opinion, that could do it right now, if she does do it, it opens up the door for a flood of new matches.
Yeah.
Interesting matches. Anyone can challenge, really. Ember.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Asuka. Asuka's the problem.
Yeah.
She log jams the whole thing. She's like...
And that's a good problem to have, though, right?
She's like
so good.
She's like Muhammad Ali against like B-level boxers.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not even a challenge.
You say Ember Moon is probably the most ready to take the title off of Asuka.
They're building her up that way, and
still so far behind.
She's got Booker T's.
Yeah, she's out of his training
endorsement.
School.
Yeah,
but
in Dallas.
It would be a huge mistake if Asuka lost this title at SummerSlam. In my opinion, she needs to go to the main roster.
This is the one like I care about the least, just because I think I know what's going to happen, but like I'm super invested in it. I want Asuka to win. All
right, we got Johnny Gargano versus Almas.
This is hard because you say Gargano, right?
I think it's Gargano. I think it should be Gargano.
But I like what they're doing with CN and Vegas, and they've been booking him pretty good. What I like is they don't have Vegas like interfere on his behalf.
Right.
She's just like a life coach.
Yeah.
Who's bringing out a meaner side of him.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see it being Almas, but I think Gargano needs the win because I think he needs to start building up so he can get to the main event for the eventual return of Tommaso Ciampa. And I would love when Ciampa comes back for Gargano to be the NXT champion.
You think they put the belt on Gargano?
I think they do.
I think it makes the next.
I would not be surprised if Aleister Black got called up before even getting a chance for the NXT title.
Yeah,
that dude
I
is
agree.
So good.
Yeah, he's ready.
Yeah, and
so Black wins. He beats Tommy, right?
That's who I have. Yeah,
I think this is Tommy's like swan song. Like he's out after this.
Do you really think he's going to the main roster?
I really do.
I mean, maybe you're right.
The problem is like the main roster is so crowded. Is there room for anybody?
No.
Is he just going to be a mid-card guy?
Well, okay, we say it's crowded right now, but the supposed shakeup, they might be sending people back down to NXT.
Oh, who would you like to see go down?
Nia Jax.
Oh yeah, we just talked about this.
Yeah, but I hate to say it, but I could see somebody like I could see Breezango going back down. I could see
I would like to see
Ty Dillinger going back down.
Mike Kanellis go down. Just because, like, if that's how they were going to use him,
yeah,
he deserves better.
I agree.
Send him down to NXT.
It's still early,
Send
though.
Maria with him.
It's still
I feel
early.
like they care more about Maria than they do Mike.
Obviously,
yeah.
They gave him her last name.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, bruh.
It's still early. I don't want to call what they're doing a bust.
It's not good.
But it's not working out right now.
It's not. I don't know what you can call it.
Well, the only reason I don't want to call it a bust is because it's still early into their career in WWE. At least Mike's. Maria's been there before, but...
Yeah, but he's getting beat by guys like Ty Dillinger.
Yeah. So you have Aleister Black winning, though? Get back on topic?
Yeah.
All right. Let's... What about the tag match? We got Sanity versus the Authors of Pain.
Authors of Pain.
Also have the Authors of Pain.
But wouldn't be surprised if Sanity takes it.
That's exactly...
But, like, they're really making Sanity out to be pretty weak. Like, you have to have 3 guys... And you have to tie up, Razor or Akeem, whichever one they tied up to, like... Yeah, I get it. But that's why, like, I don't like that you have to tie one up so you can 3-on-1 another guy.
Here's the problem, I think. Are you excited about the NXT titles?
Yeah.
Are you? Because, like...
I was really excited when DIY had them.
That's what I mean. Exactly. Yeah. Like, so we had DIY versus Revival put on amazing fucking matches.
Well, DIY is the common denominator. I can already tell you.
Well, but the Revival are good. I mean, there's no doubting the Revival are really good.
I wasn't saying that.
Yeah, and then so we get Revival versus Authors of Pain, and they put on great matches also. And now we're moving away from that to Authors of Pain versus Sanity.
This isn't going to be on that level, if that's what you're asking.
No, it's not, and that's what I'm saying. Do you still care about the NXT titles?
This feels
because that for a while was my favorite thing going on in all of WWE.
This is like Big Bruiser versus Big Bruiser.
Yeah,
it's like those are always sluggish, slow matches, awful matches.
Yeah,
and I mean even before DIY and the Revival, you had American Alpha down there. So the tag titles have been exciting for a long time.
I agree.
I could definitely see why you would think of this as a slump, though.
Yeah, I don't know. But I definitely have I have the Authors of Pain going over because I think they've been built up too much for I mean, they're the reason DIY split up, so it wouldn't make sense for me to have them drop the titles in the first big match since DIY split up.
Yeah, they'll probably be champions for a while.
I think so. And that brings us to the main event. And you've changed your mind on it with
I don't know if I've changed my mind, but you've definitely gave me question because I thought for sure it was going to be Bobby Roode, 100%. And then, I don't know. So if Adam Cole's coming, that means Bobby Roode's going up.
Even before we heard about Adam Cole, I had Drew McIntyre winning this match.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to talk.
Because you say you think Itami is the one going up, and I think it's Bobby Roode that's the most ready to go up.
I think he's the most likely. This isn't about most ready, because like we've said, Roode has been a veteran for a long, long time. Yeah. He should have been the main. He should have skipped NXT altogether.
I think he's the most likely.
Aleister Black's ready. Itami's ready. Asuka is most ready. I'm saying most likely. I thought Itami was the most likely,
and I think the most likely going up is Bobby Roode.
I hope so, man. Yeah. I want to see him. I'm ready to see Bobby Roode versus other big names.
I would love
to
see him come in.
I've always been a Bobby Roode
and go straight for the Intercontinental title
against The Miz.
Yeah, because I think him with the IC title would just be awesome. It'd be so good.
It'd be so good.
Yeah.
They'd probably have to take it off of The Miz.
Yeah, you don't want him going straight into the main event picture if they even have plans for him going into the main event picture on the main roster.
The original plan for the IC title before Braun Strowman got hurt?
What was that?
They were supposed to do, before they did that fatal 5-way to determine who was going to face Brock Lesnar, they were supposed to have Strowman face Lesnar at SummerSlam 1-on-1.
Right.
And Roman Reigns was supposed to face The Miz
for the IC title.
For the IC title, this was I think it was Dean Meltzer who said this. So it's like legitimate source. Roman Reigns was supposed to beat The Miz, take the IC title, and hold it until WrestleMania, and then become a 2-time or hold both belts at the same time when he beats Lesnar. Yeah, that sounded like an awful idea. I like the idea of the Miz feuding with Roman Reigns. It puts some.
Yeah.
But I don't like the IC title being locked up while the Universal Championship's locked up. It's awful. I'm glad that got avoided.
I hate when somebody's a dual champion because then it's like, well, which title do they defend? Are both titles on the line during a match? Like,
right.
Something
always gets forgotten.
Yeah, you back yourself into a corner when you do that.
Like everyone talks about Dean Ambrose being the longest reigning U.S. title holder, but he like never defended it when he was part of the Shield.
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
Do you want to go to SummerSlam? This is a big card.
This is a big card.
This is an interesting card.
It's not as big as you would think.
I still think, there'll be some matches in there that they haven't even announced yet. A couple more matches I think will probably be announced this week, maybe.
Yeah. It's definitely filling out, though. So, I don't have to ask you which one you're least care about the least.
I think we
Big
both
Cass,
agree it's Big Cass versus Big Show.
Yeah. So, which match are you most excited for?
I feel like the right answer is Styles
the right
versus
answer.
Owens.
There's a wrong and right answer.
Yeah, I feel like that's the right answer. That's the one that I think. That's what I think the best match is going to be. That one, but I am interested in seeing the Universal title match. See what they actually do in that.
I think the Universal title for me.
Yeah. Do you think that'll be match of the night though?
It's hard to bet against Styles.
Right.
Because he's just the best. I'm so biased.
All right. Well,
AJ Styles and Finn Balor are my favorite wrestlers.
Let's go down the card.
All right.
You want to start? We already.
Let's start with what we think's gonna be undercard.
Okay.
So they always put the cruiserweight title on the undercard.
Probably.
So Neville
versus Tozawa. It's Neville.
Neville's.
Do we even
for
need
sure.
to
No, we don't need to go.
Yeah.
He's the king.
And then this match I think should be on the pre-show, and it's the match neither one of us want to see.
Big Cass,
Big Show and Cass.
So you said you think Enzo drops.
I could see it being some screwy finish where Enzo drops something not meant for Cass, but Cass picks it up, knocks out.
Or it is meant for Cass, and they turn Enzo heel, and that's how they get back together.
Yeah, who knows?
Either way, who cares?
Yeah, and Cass wins.
Cass wins. Next one.
This is probably the second match that I'm care the least about. Randy Orton versus Rusev.
Oh, this one's hard to pick. Okay, so Rusev needs the win. We'll probably give it to Orton.
I think
everyone's predicting Orton.
I think they'll give it to Rusev.
I think like the fact that they had Randy Orton go over on Mahal on the main event of SmackDown points towards a Rusev win. Maybe like maybe he got his win back, so now he can take another loss without it hurting too much. But there's no way he lost 3 in a row against Jinder and then loses to Rusev.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, do you see him? He pins the WWE champion and then loses to Rusev.
It'll probably be some screwy finish, and they'll probably keep the feud going past SummerSlam. I think.
I guess.
Whatever.
I don't know.
That's a hard one to pick.
Yeah.
It really is a pick 'em.
What about Cena Corbin?
Corbin wins.
I think Corbin wins
clean, and Cena rides off into the sunset, and it doesn't hurt. To Raw. Yeah.
I think Corbin needs to win.
Corbin needs it. Yeah. There's only so far like the Money in the Bank briefcase can take you. Like eventually you need to get wins too.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Or otherwise you turn into Damian Sandow.
Yeah.
This match, I'm actually looking forward to this match a lot. The SmackDown Tag Title match, New Day versus Usos.
So you think New Day wins and it buries the rivalry, ends the rivalry?
Yeah, probably. But I think that's a mistake because they're the only 2 tag teams that anybody cares about on SmackDown right now, other than Breezango. But they're not doing anything other than their files.
I think it's a mistake because the New Day don't need the titles.
No, they don't.
And the Usos are like...
They're over as shit right now.
This heel turn has been the greatest thing imaginable for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and...
Roman.
Those tag belts just like solidify their savagery.
Yeah.
They just make them look that much more.
Yeah. But look what a heel turn can do for you. Nobody liked the Usos. They turned heel. Everybody loves them. Looking at you, Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it's New Day, but I think it should be the Usos.
Agreed. We agree on all these.
Do we? Hold on. Because once we don't. But
what do you
Naomi and Natalya.
Oh yeah, because I think we've talked about this. I think Carmella cashes in, and you don't.
I don't. I think
Naomi wins clean. Carmella cashes in. And your new SmackDown Live Women's Champion.
I don't. I think Naomi wins clean in this one.
You're horrible.
But again, like, I would love to see Natalya with the title. It's been
Natalya
long
deserves
since she's been a
it.
champion.
Yeah. She's a trooper, man. Like, she's been respectful of, like, these other girls coming up and getting their time, and she's been just letting them have their time and do their thing, and everyone take a turns with the belt.
Right.
It's her turn.
Yeah.
But I don't think she wins.
Okay.
But I will say this: if Natalya wins, I don't see Carmella cashing in.
Okay.
Only when Naomi win.
All right, I can see that. Raw title. We're operating under the assumption that it's Sasha versus Bliss.
So Alexa Bliss.
I'll say this. Yeah, I don't think it matters who it was. I think Alexa Bliss wins the match.
Yeah, I think Alexa wins, and it sets up Jax
versus her.
Yeah.
Or
maybe Bayley on her return, because there's no timetable, right? They just said she wouldn't make SummerSlam.
Right.
But she could be back soon.
I guess.
Who knows?
I think
until they tell us exactly what it is, they just say it's her shoulder.
I don't think Alexa needs to drop the title at all. I don't
think she needs to drop the title. I'm just saying this sets up like a Jax thing.
No, yeah, but like even then, like I think if Asuka gets called up, I think she should go to Raw. I think that's who should take the title off Alexa Bliss. Eventually, I would love to see Alexa Bliss hold the title for a little while longer because I think she's been the most exciting women's champion we've had in a while.
So you'd like to see Asuka go to Raw?
Or Raw? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think so.
To me, it seems so like even on Raw. You got Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, you've got Bayley, you got Sasha Banks. I feel like I put Emma like almost there with them.
Yeah.
So it seems like an even playing field. Like it's anybody's. Whereas on SmackDown, I see Becky Lynch and Charlotte, and then everybody else.
You know what the problem is I think the problem we run into is like whenever, at least for me, like whenever we're talking about people getting called up, I'm always like, put them on SmackDown, put them on SmackDown. I was like, well, shit, we can't put everybody on SmackDown, right. So you got to have some sort of
No, I agree
diversity.
That Asuka should go to Raw. I feel like you need to find a way to bridge the gap on SmackDown, though.
Right.
Because it does feel like Becky and Charlotte, and then the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. SmackDown does a great job of using the rest, but when Becky and Charlotte get in the ring with the other girls, it's just so like obvious that there's such a gap.
Right.
In my opinion.
So, all right. Do you think we get a Raw tag title match at SummerSlam? Because it hasn't been announced yet, right?
It hasn't been announced yet, but there are reports that Cesaro and Sheamus are going to drop the belt soon.
Right.
What better place than SummerSlam? We still got a few spots left open on the card, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They better announce it soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got one Raw left.
So I would imagine, again, we are recording this without having watched Raw. I would imagine it gets announced tonight that they are either the Hardys or Shield 2.0, right?
It has to be.
Do you think...
Obviously, you'd prefer to see the Shield, but Hardys are...
So
I don't even know if they're more likely at this point, the way that the Shields,
So
Dean and Seth have been battling.
Either way, Shield or Hardys, you don't see Sheamus or Cesaro walking out as tag team champions.
Right.
Okay. Fair enough. I think I agree with you. What do you got on Styles versus Owens with Shane as the special guest referee?
Oh, we didn't talk about the angle on SmackDown. So let's get into this.
Okay.
That was beautiful. That was really good creative writing, is what that was. That's what we saw on SmackDown.
That's what WWE needs.
Because everyone knows. We predicted this last week that Owens was going to get screwed by Shane at SummerSlam, and it was going to end the feud with AJ Styles and start a feud against Shane McMahon to lead to a match down the road, maybe at WrestleMania. And they swerved us.
Yeah.
They come out and they create tension between AJ Styles and Shane McMahon.
It was so good.
And it was awesome. It was KO had video footage of Shane McMahon screwing over, other people in the past. He had video footage of AJ Styles attacking Shane. And then he attacks AJ, but then moves out the way.
Right.
Well, he didn't even have to move out of the way. And AJ hits McMahon with a Pele kick. And then he says, Shane McMahon tells AJ, you're on borrowed time.
What do you think that means?
I don't know, but I know that the announcers wanted us to know that they said that, because maybe it means something like that again, and I'll get involved or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I still think I wouldn't. I'm personally not reading too much into that because I still think that Styles wins this match, and I think it's going to eventually lead to Shane versus Owens.
I agree, but I love the way how they I love that they put doubt in our minds.
Right.
Like when you know something 100% is going to happen.
Yeah, and
but
then
they still kind of they're like,
Is it? Are you sure?
They're running like a trick play over here.
Right.
The problem is we still know it's a trick play.
Yeah. I don't know. I personally am not looking too much into it. I think you're reading into it a little more than I am.
I love
which
it.
is fine.
I love the writing. If what's gonna happen is what we think is gonna happen, which is Owens gets screwed or he thinks he got screwed. He doesn't even have to get screwed. Like,
right.
He just, perceives it that way.
Yeah.
Then this is great writing.
Yeah. I agree. But you have Styles winning.
I have Styles winning 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the match that I think you and I disagree with. Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal for the title.
So what do you have then?
All right. So I have Nakamura winning the title. I have Baron Corbin.
Disagree.
I have Baron Corbin cashing in, but I have him losing.
Wow.
Yeah, I do not have him winning his cash in.
You're crazy, bro.
I don't think so.
That would be awful. Listen, as someone who truly cares about Baron Corbin, that would be awful. I want to see him with a run.
Do you think it's just because he's from Kansas City, so you're marking for him a little more than
maybe? But I love that lone wolf attitude. I love the. What do you think about his new music? I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate that I love it too. Because I like the new music, but I love the old music. I love the motorcycle revving and then the right. And then him coming out to the spotlight and the spotlight turns red when he steps in. That was so awesome.
That was awesome.
Why would you mix that up?
I don't know.
I hate it.
Maybe tomorrow they'll bring it back. I
actually heard that he had new music before I watched SmackDown.
Right, he debuted at a house show, right?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that.
I think he debuted at a house show.
I remember hearing that he had new music and hating it and not wanting, I was like, I hate it.
Yeah, already.
Awful. Yeah, and then I watched SmackDown and I was like, oh, that's catchy. I like it.
Yeah.
So, but no, I have Jinder Mahal winning cleanly and no cash-in.
No cash-in at all.
Oh, I didn't say cleanly. I did say cleanly. I take that back. I have Jinder Mahal winning at SmackDown, and it's going to be obviously with the Singh brothers.
A screwy finish.
Funny. So I think it extends the rivalry with Nakamura, and I think Nakamura eventually takes it off of him. I could definitely see him losing to Nakamura. Either way, I don't see a cash.
What about Jinder winning via Corbin's music hitting, thinking we're going to get a cash in, distracts Nakamura, Jinder attacks him, does whatever.
That's very likely.
Yeah, I could see that happening too.
I don't see a cash in because I think when Corbin cash in he wins, but I think Nakamura's the one to take it off of Jinder.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if it happens at SummerSlam. I'm not surprised, but
yeah,
I would see Jinder winning, keeping it just for another month.
I would just like to see him cash in and lose. I'm a big Corbin fan. I'm a big Corbin fan. I just think it's becoming too predictable now of champions, of people cashing in.
I would like to see it cash in on
winning.
a TV show. Like, it's supposed to be like, oh, if you have Money in the Bank, you can cash in anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
But it just always feels like, pay-per-view after a match or something.
Well, we've got quite a bit.
Yeah, but I'd like to see a little bit more. Mix it up.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We have 2 Money in the Bank winners this year.
That's why I think I could see
Carmella
cashing in on SmackDown and winning.
No, Carmella's going to cash
because
in
I don't think people,
SummerSlam, boy.
I don't think people care enough about that. I really don't.
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I like Carmella. I hate James Ellsworth.
He's so bad. Get rid of him.
Dude.
I mean, I'm happy for the guy. He's living his dream, but get out of here.
You got thrown around by Braun Strowman. Yeah. He's famous.
All right. Who do you have in the
big match? Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, match of the night.
Main event. A real main event.
Right.
It's got to be Brock Lesnar.
I think it is.
They're still reporting Lesnar's champion at No Way Out.
Right.
They're still booking him against Roman Reigns for the belt at WrestleMania.
God, it's a bad idea.
They're making you think he's going to leave. He's not going to leave. Lesnar's going to win.
Yeah. Who takes the pin here?
Samoa Joe.
Unfortunately, you're probably
the one guy
right.
who shouldn't take the pin.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman could handle taking the pin and it not hurt him whatsoever.
You know what sucks?
Just send Samoa Joe back out of the main card if he takes the pin, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the thing. Like,
but there's too many people in the main event right now.
If you don't put the title on Samoa Joe right now, which I don't think they do, he has nothing to do after SummerSlam.
Well, they'll create something, obviously.
No, I understand that, but like anything that they do with him will feel like a letdown after the main event. And I just...
Okay, it worked.
after, I mean, he had his match with Brock Lesnar was so good. And I think I heard reports like even Brock, like after the match, was like, this dude is awesome. He wanted to work with him more. And I think that's one of the reasons we actually ended up getting the Fatal 4-Way was because I think Brock lobbied for Samoa Joe to be in the match.
That's awesome. All right, well...
I agree it's Brock.
Brock wins. That one's pretty cut and dry. It's still going to be one of the best matches on the card.
Yeah.
It's still going to be fun to watch, like if they have like a Lesnar and Strowman moment.
Right.
Right.
Which is what it'll lead to eventually, right?
Worthy. Yeah, where they're both
that'll
in the
be
ring.
Lesnar's next feud. Will be Braun Strowman, right? It should be. I'm asking you.
Yeah, it has to be. Is it No Mercy or No Way Out he's being advertised for?
I don't know.
It's one of those. I think it'll probably be singles with Braun Strowman. Maybe have Roman and Samoa. Who knows?
Didn't we just have No Mercy? Wasn't that? Or was?
Well, I can't remember which one. It's No Mercy or No Way Out that is a Raw pay-per-view, and it's their next pay-per-view.
Okay.
Or it's the next pay-per-view with Brock Lesnar. Right.
I
So we have a quick fire round. This is
Yeah.
where we ask each other questions that we haven't heard before, and it's kind of just to get a quick response and just a first reaction kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I can ask you first.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So, if you could push anyone on the main roster right now, who would it be?
If I could push anyone?
Anybody.
Finn Balor. I want to see him get back up to that top spot. I get that he hurt his shoulder. He shouldn't be off this many pay-per-views. He shouldn't have missed WrestleMania. He was cleared to come back before. Apparently, he missed the deadline for Royal Rumble by like 10 days.
Yeah.
So once he missed the deadline, he said they just scrapped all plans for him at Mania.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, you still should have put him on the card. And then to like leave him off as many pay-per-views as you did coming up to SummerSlam. And the Fatal 5-Way was ridiculous. He's being misused, and I would like to see him get back and get his title back, or at least get a rematch for it. He never even got a rematch for it.
Yeah, I know.
He got a number one contenders match with 4 other people.
That they counted as his rematch.
That's ridiculous.
All right. Who's the most underutilized person on the roster right now?
Well, I think the WWE Universe would say Sami Zayn. He gets like the most support, I think. Yeah. From the fans. I don't know if that's the right answer though. Maybe the Miz.
Really? You say that?
I think he's one of the top guys, and he's not treated as such.
I agree.
I think he's treated like a good talker with a title.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I get they put the IC title on him, and it's easily like, well, I guess it's their third biggest title now, but it's for the longest time as their second. Like, I get they put the belts on him, but like, he doesn't get treated like he's a top guy. Yeah. He doesn't like. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain.
All right. Here's the big one I got for you. So if a non-wrestling fan comes up to you, somebody that doesn't watch wrestling, says they want to get into wrestling, recommends a match from you, what is the one match you would recommend for them to watch?
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
Because do you go like from a story perspective and just give them something they can get invested in? Or do you go and just give them a really good match like Taker and Shawn?
I think that's just a really good match.
If it was a really good match, I'd give him Taker and Shawn. Or if you wanted a really good story, I might go Hogan and Andre. But actually, you know what? Taker and Shawn had a really good story too.
No, it had a great story.
Yeah, so that's a hard one to come up with.
It's funny. I have an Undertaker story I want to talk to you about here in a minute. Yeah, that revolves around WrestleMania.
If you had, that's a hard question. Who would you pick?
So I've thought about this. I would show them Rock Hogan WrestleMania 18.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I think even if you're not a wrestling fan, you know who The Rock is, you know who Hulk Hogan is. That automatically gets you invested in the match. And then just the way like the whole match went down where Rock had Hogan in the sharpshooter, but the referee was knocked out, so he gets up to, try and revive the referee, and Hogan hits him with a low blow and then hits him with a rock bottom and gets the near fall. And Rock obviously ends up winning, and then after the match, Nash and Hall come out and attack Hogan. Rock makes the save. I just think it's so good.
Yeah, man.
It is so good.
That's a really good answer. I switched mine to yours.
Those are my questions for you.
All right, let me get my handy dandy list here, Blues Clues style. Handy dandy notebook. All right. Well, we already answered that one. I had who was most likely to be called up from NXT. So
yeah, I think it's rude.
Out of everyone who's not in WWE right now, everyone in the Indies or New Japan or Ring of Honor, who would you like to see come to WWE?
I think my answer probably is the same as everyone else, and it's Kenny Omega.
Yeah,
right.
He's the number one guy, I think.
Kenny Omega or the Young Bucks.
And there was such a frenzy for him to come at Royal Rumble.
Right. And if we hadn't heard about Adam Cole, I think my answer would have been him, because I'm a huge Adam Cole fan.
Do you think the Young Bucks come to WWE? I heard that like Jeff and Matt Hardy were like pushing and like talking to Vince about them.
But they just re-signed with ROH, and it's a 2-year deal. I don't know. They're not getting any younger.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've watched their matches, man, but they put their bodies through hell.
Yeah, bro.
So I think Kenny Omega is the right answer.
Apparently,
or Okada. I'd love to see Okada.
Apparently, like Vince actually reached out to the Young Bucks the night before WrestleMania when they had that ladder match.
Yeah.
And he says, like, listen, you guys are awesome. I'm big fans, but don't hurt them.
Oh, the Hardys.
He's like, I got them tomorrow.
Yeah, so that's right.
Don't put them through too much.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's good.
Yeah. So who are you surprised, out of everyone who's not on the SummerSlam card, who are you surprised most to see off?
I feel like...
Who are you surprised missed the cut?
Becky Lynch.
That's my answer.
Because
I thought you were going to say Sami Zayn.
Well, I would have said Charlotte...
But with this Ric Flair thing now?
Thing.
But it looked like they were going to leave her off before this stuff happened,
and
too.
that would have been a shame.
That's
Either one of them off the card is crazy.
And if they were going to do anything, it was going to be Charlotte Becky.
I know,
but now Becky's for sure off too, right?
Right.
Because what is she going to do? Face Tamina?
Yeah, I don't see anything for her
Face
to do.
Lana?
But here's the thing: I do think that that Sami Zayn and Mike Kanellis could end up being like a pre-show match. It could still get added to the card, I think. I just don't see anything for Becky Lynch to do, though.
Do you see Lana going back to managing?
I think that's what they should do.
Really?
Yeah.
I disagree. And what was the whole point of having her wrestle anyway if she's just going to go back to
Because
managing?
I think they legitimately wanted her to wrestle, and she's just not good. Well, she's trying. Like, good for her.
Let me give you my scenario.
She's better than me,
but... Let me give you my scenario. What if she stays wrestling and becomes a face? Because you know what? She's actually like trying so hard, and it's so evident. And she's like, I love these matches where like she tries so hard against someone like Charlotte, and like it's not working out, so she gets frustrated and slaps Charlotte. I love that, and I think it makes you empathize with her and sympathize for her. Like, and I'm starting to care about her. I'm starting to want her to win.
I don't care.
I think they could easily turn her face. I think it would work.
I think just
keep going down this road of her trying really hard and then coming up short. People are gonna like relate to that. They're gonna respond to that, and I think you could turn her face.
I think the last time they turned her face, it didn't work out well.
Yeah, well, new times, boy.
I don't know. I could see her going back to managing.
But it looks like managing is what they want to do. Like it looks like they're gonna be. I hate that Tamina said you'll never wrestle like I do.
Right.
Well, give her time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like she's gonna be Tamina's manager.
Which is fine.
Whatever.
Because, I mean, Tamina's kind of been her manager / bodyguard for a while, so now she's going to be her manager, which is the way it should be.
All right, this is my last question, and then we'll wrap this up. If there was one moment in WWE history that you could have been there for, what would it be?
All right.
I know, that's a good one.
So, just because it's my favorite match, I would love to have been there for Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon ladder match for the IC title.
Really?
So good.
Old school pick.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Just because it's my favorite match, man. The storytelling behind that.
First ladder match.
Well, here's an interesting story. It's not the first ladder match.
Well, first, yeah.
Like televised. Because I think it was, it was Scott Hall did an interview where he was talking about, he's like, me and Shawn had been doing ladder matches for like 2 months at house shows up to that point.
Oh, just getting ready for it?
I think so. Yeah. So it's the first televised ladder match.
Man, that's big.
Yeah. I want to tell you this that Undertaker story though real quick. I thought was pretty interesting. Marty Elias, who was the referee for Shawn Taker at WrestleMania 25, was doing a podcast, and this is what he said. He said, "I was specifically told by the Undertaker that if he didn't beat the count after that dive, to count him out." What do you think about that? He said that's the only instruction I got. Could you imagine? Because you remember the dive, Taker, the cameraman doesn't catch him. He knocks himself out basically. And he goes on to say that him and Taker, didn't even make eye contact with each other until the 8 count. Could you imagine if that's how Taker's streak ended, on a shoot count out because he knocked himself out on a dive?
Bruh, that's crazy.
That would have been ridiculous. That's
crazier than Lesnar. Like
that would have been the most
embarrassing
thing for WWE.
People have been like, bruh, really? No one would have believed that.
Yeah.
The fans, they would have been like, someone's going to come out and say,
right,
restart the match or something.
But it was a complete shoot because Taker didn't know if he was going to be able to finish the match. He didn't even know if he was going to be coherent enough to finish the match.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Why would you put yourself in that position?
I don't know. Well, because the cameraman was supposed to catch him. It wasn't really his fault. That's all I got for you this week, though, man.
All right, guys. That's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 2 of Mark Out Wrestling. Go ahead and follow us at 816 Podcasting on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Comment or tweet us any questions you want answered, and we'll answer them in the next episode.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.